Aurora police say they tried to end a standoff peacefully this weekend, but instead it ended with an officer shooting and killing a teenager. Thanks for joining us for 9 News at 5. I'm Tom Green.
And I'm Kim Christensen. Today we learned what led up to the shooting. Aurora's police chief says the teen beat his mother and threatened her and others with a gun. 9 News reporter Kevin Vaughn attended a briefing with Aurora's police chief this afternoon. Kevin, we still don't know what led up, though, to this violent attack.
Kim and Tom, at this point, we really don't. All we really know is that this started with a disturbing 911 call reporting that this man had savagely beaten his mother. Police at the scene spent more than an hour trying to coax the man from his family's apartment. They tried speaking to him both in English and Spanish, but Aurora Police Chief Todd Chamberlain said the man never responded to phone calls and bullhorn messages.
His only statement was he stood at the top of the landing and fired shots at the officers. On that evening, they knew what they were heading into. They knew they were heading into a situation where there was an armed individual who was beating somebody drastically, victimizing somebody, and victimized other people's, and they still stepped forward when most everybody else would step back. These officers did this on behalf of the department, they did it on behalf of the community, and they did it on behalf of those victims. And again, that is what we do.
The man's mother had come out of the apartment just minutes before the shooting occurred. We don't know her condition at this point. As is customary in cases like this, the shooting is being reviewed by a critical incident team. They'll look at everything that went on. They'll issue a report probably several months down the road. Live in Aurora, I'm Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
There's still a lot more information to come. Thanks, Kevin.
Folks in Aurora got some early morning hail today. This is about 4:45 this morning, a sign of just how unseasonably warm this fall has been so far. In a cooler year, that hail will probably have been snow.
Well, they did get snow at some of the higher elevations. Check out the scene in Summit County. Keystone is reportedly planning to open for the season this Friday. Meteorologist Kathy Sabin tracking your forecast. That looks more normal for October, Kathy.
I know, finally, right? When I woke up this morning to thunder, lightning, hail, and rain at about 5:30, I thought, is this May or is this almost November? It was a very strange start to the day. But after that cloudy, cool, and gloomy start, we're back to sunshine with mild conditions around the area. This storm system is lifting northeast out of Colorado. Out ahead of it, we're seeing a line of potentially severe storms develop in Nebraska and also in Kansas. With this storm exiting the area, much improved drive. We're seeing a little bit of wind on the backside of this system out of the north and northwest, and the threat for hail producing storms now growing across central Nebraska and Kansas with a severe thunderstorm watch. A few residual showers moving out of northeastern Colorado, but the big story is really the snow. 7 to 10 inches of snow at your favorite ski resorts and over 20 inches in the southern mountains and at Wolf Creek Ski Resort. Temperatures after that storm moved east jumped really quickly. We're 66 in Denver, 70 in Greeley, but the wind still a big story tonight. Coming up, the timing and impact of our next weather change. We'll have the weather you'll wake up to. That's coming up in just.
Two skiers, I should say, triggered an avalanche on Silverton Mountain yesterday after the first notable snow of the season. Silverton's on the western slope. It caters to advanced skiers, and the state's Avalanche Information Center said the two skiers triggered small avalanches on the mountain's grassy run. Both managed to ski out of those slides safely. Neither was hurt.
An Aurora police officer was shot in the arm overnight. Aurora police say the officer responding to a car break-in when that shooting happened. That officer is already at the hospital. The suspect is 29-year-old man named Aaron Verner. He's in custody tonight. Police say officers never fired their weapons during the encounter. A Colorado family is preparing for a second murder trial in the death of their loved one.
It was nearly 4 years ago that police say a teenage boy fired multiple rounds into a car being driven by Pamela Cabriales. It all played out at I-25 in Colfax after police say Cabriales accidentally bumped the car that the teenage boy was riding in. That boy, Remy Cordova, is now on trial this week. He was just 14 years old at the time, but now facing adult charges for murder. Pamela Cabriales' brother says he deserves the max behind bars.
Well, to begin, there's no amount of time that can bring my sister back. There's no number. All we can hope for as a family is that he get the maximum sentence allowed by the law.
In a separate trial last year, a jury found the driver of the car, Nishan Johnson, guilty of murder. He was 18 at the time. Ultimately, he was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Cordova's trial could last up to 8 days.
Fort Collins police say a woman was shot while confronting two people breaking into her car. This happened early this morning on a dead-end road near College Avenue and Trilby. Police say one of the victim's family members woke her up to tell her about the break-in. When she ran outside, one of the thieves shot her in the leg. She will survive. Fort Collins police don't have any details about the suspect. They're asking people who live in the Crown Ridge Lane area to check their home security cameras.
Right now, Denver City Council, is meeting. They could be voting to approve more development around Ball Arena. Now, if it is approved, that's a plan that would add townhomes, open space, bike lanes, and new retail to the area around the arena. Right now, a lot of that space is used for parking. In order to make the change, City Council would have to change city code and allow taller buildings near the arena. Right now, there are limits as to how tall people can build. The rules are meant to protect the views of the mountains from downtown property. Some city councilors believe those rules should remain in place.
It is very concerning the kind of precedent that we might set in getting rid of view plane restrictions simply for a large development that we all want to happen in a place that is right now nothing but parking lots and a terrible use of land.
We continue to watch that meeting. We'll let you know how it goes. According to our partners at the Denver Gazette, the last time the city code was changed like this was back in 1999 for the new Mile High Stadium.
To the campaign trail, Colorado's first voting centers open today with a little more than 2 weeks until the election. Former President Donald Trump spent the day in North Carolina, one of 7 states considered battlegrounds in this year's election. He also took a look at some of the damage from recent hurricanes, promising to rebuild if elected.
The communities were ravaged and destroyed. We're praying for you, and we will not forget about you. We will never forget about you. We're going to be working with you for a long time to come to get it back together.
Vice President Kamala Harris is in the middle of a swing through the battleground states of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Polling shows Harris with a narrow lead in all 3 states. She is holding events with Republican Liz Cheney, trying to give GOP voters a reason to flip parties this election.
In many, many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man, but the consequences of him being president of the United States are brutally serious.
The vice president will sit down for a one-on-one interview with NBC News this week. She'll take questions from Hallie Jackson on tomorrow, which is 2 weeks until Election Day. You can watch that interview right here on 9 News.